Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everybody's having a brilliant day. Now today guys, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the strange and wacky leafy cacti. And this is part one of a three-part series that I'm doing on my channel on the leafy cacti. Because there's not a lot of information either online, especially not on YouTube, on the leafy cacti, and I thought it'd be a great video series to do and to enlighten a few of you to these amazing and very unique and unusual cacti. Now, part one, this is going to be about Pereskia, the Pereskia leafy cacti. And then part two is going to be about Pereskia opposites, also the other group of leafy cacti. And part three is going to be about Quibentia, which is the other group of leafy cacti there. And as I say, this is going to be a care and information video. I've made a video about the different types of Pereskia cacti that I have. I have 4 different types here in my collection. And if you want to watch that video also, then I'll put links up above to that video. And also at the end of this this video, come up on the end screens, it will show you, talking about the 4 different types I've got, and give a bit of an idea of the different types of Pereskias that are commonly seen, well, not that commonly seen for sale, but the most common ones seen for sale. Now, say Pereskia, I say the leafy cacti are very unique. They're one of sort of like the first types of cacti that ever came about, because when you think of cacti, you always think of them as sort of resembling this typical spiny cloister cactus here. But the leafy cacti are not so well known, and they look very much in appearance to just a normal, not even just a succulent. This looks very much just like a normal plant, a house plant, like a little rose bush or something with its little spines. But it is 100% cactus because it does contain areoles, which are these little things here. They're little, sometimes little woolly or little fluffy little holes where spines actually come from. And because the spines come from these areoles or areoles, whatever you want to call them, that makes them 100% cactus. And that's a little bit of information in case people say that's not a cactus. It is. So now they're a tropical Pereskia of a tropical cactus species. So they're not like the typical desert types of cacti. For example, these here, they're very, very different. So they do need a warmer temperatures, which I'm going to mention about in a minute. Now, in their natural habitats, there's about 17 different species of Pereskia. And they're normally found growing with trees and shrubs in their natural habitat, which will be in Central America and South America. And obviously, because they are tropical, they're sort of shrub-like cacti. They can grow quite tall, but they're always sort of more shrubby in appearance. You would never get them sort of growing like a big, tall Trichocereus type cacti, or the big typically seen cowboy saguaro looking cacti. They do stay more shrubby-like. And as I say, they because they have the areoles with the spines coming out of. That's what makes them cacti. And they often have as well very sharp spines, such as this one here. This is Pereskia Diaz Romeriana, very sharp spines. So that's where you can see, yes, that's a cactus, guys. And when it comes to the care requirements now, they can take both full light and light shade. As I said, they're normally growing sort of naturally with trees and shrubs, so they can take more light shade than the traditional desert type of cactus can. But like all cacti, they do like a nice bright sunny position if you can give them that, but away from very strong, intense. If you've got them behind glass in a greenhouse, for example, and the sun is magnified, then I would recommend giving it a little bit more of a shadier spot. But they can take anything from full sun, if they've got ventilation, to light shade. And watering, in the spring and summer, you can water them quite freely. As watering allows the soil in the pots to completely dry out fully before watering them again. But I would normally water mine from the springtime, which will be anything from sort of late March, depending on the temperature, obviously, and the time, obviously how good the spring is. But usually, definitely from the beginning of April in the spring, right up until sort of late late summer, early fall, sort of September time. And then in the winter time, I'll only water these once a month. They can go a long time without water. In that case, they'll just drop all their leaves. And then when you water them again in the spring, they'll send up a load of new leaves again. But personally, I like to keep the leaves on these. I think they look attractive. So I give mine a water in the winter about once a month. But obviously I water quite freely in the spring and summer, as long as the soil dries out in the pot. And with the soil, they, like all cacti, they're like a very well draining soil mix. Just because they're more tropical cacti doesn't mean to say they like soggy, wet soil. The soil has to be very well draining because they are also rot prone as well. And I make my own soil mix for my Pereskias that I use also as a general round cactus mix for a lot of my cacti. They grow very well in it. And if you want to know how I make my own soil, I'm going to link up above to a video I've made on how to make cactus and succulent soil in 3 easy steps. Links up above, and also put the video at the end cards as well. I mix 3 equal parts of a loam based soil with horticultural sand and also grit as well. And sometimes I'll substitute the grit for perlite, as you can see. In this case, perlite is lighter, but it does the same thing. Most important thing is to use a very well draining cactus and succulent soil mix. Now, as I say, they're tropical cacti, so when it comes to the temperature, it's absolutely paramount that these are protected from frost. And I would not recommend keeping Pereskia cacti at a temperature lower than 12°C, which is about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So keep these plants during the winter above 55 degrees Fahrenheit, or 55 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Which is 12 Celsius, because as I say, they are not cold hardy at all. They are more tropical. And the flowers then, these will flower from sort of summertime, even into the fall, autumn, and even early winter sometimes. Mine always flower during the summertime, but some growers say theirs will even flower in early winter. So it just depends on the individual type of Pereskia. And the flowers are sort of very pretty, smallish and rose-like, and they have a lovely smell to them, a bit like lemons, really, but a nice sort of fresh lemon smell. And the colours will be anything from pink to purple, depending on the species. This one here, my Diaz Romiana, had the most beautiful pink flower on it in the summer. And if you want to see what this particular Pereskia looked like when it was flowering, that's the result of the pollination. Do check the video of this beautiful Pereskia. Might not look so beautiful now, but check what it looked like in the summer with its beautiful flower. You'll be amazed, guys. I'll put links up above to the flower on this beautiful Pereskia above there to watch that video, and also at the end of this video too. It's really pretty, guys. And you'll know, as I say, this is the result of the flower that was pollinated. I never pollinated this. The bees pollinated this in our polytunnel, and as you can see, that's the result. Lovely seed pod, fruit forming there. You'll know when it's ready to harvest because it will go yellow and soft. And when it is, I will make a harvesting seed video for my Pereskia, and also, of course, I'm going to sow the seeds and make a video when I do. I've never sowed Pereskia seeds before. This is the first fruit pod I've ever got from any of my own plants, so going to be very excited to grow this from seed, and looking forward to that, guys. So stay tuned for a future video when I harvest and sow the seeds on that beauty. As a propagation, as I say, it can be from seed, but the most common form of propagation with Pereskia is by cuttings. And the good thing is with Pereskia is cuttings root very easy in water, in the water method. Now, obviously, cacti, I would never recommend rooting in the water method unless it's epiphytic cacti or Pereskiopsis, like them over there. They will root also equally well in water. You can even just take cuttings of these and pot them up into soil. Obviously, spring and summer is the best time to take cuttings, not winter. And if you're potting them straight up into soil, then I would recommend when you cut them, let the cut part of the cuttings callus over for about 3 or 4 days, depending on the diameter of the cutting. For example, that hasn't got much of a diameter, so probably 5 days will be enough for this. But a big, more thicker one like this all the stems on this, you'd need obviously probably about a week to form a hard skin callus at the bottom of the cut, and then pot it up in a well-draining cactus succulent soil mix and treat as a cutting. But they do root, as I say, very easy in water, and that's how we take all our cuttings. And the good news is when you're taking cuttings of these with the water method, you can just cut them and put them straight into water. You don't have to wait for the bottom end to callus over. Some people do, but I just take cuttings and just put them straight into water, and they root so easy. This particular Pereskia, the Godseffian, is very fast growing, so I'm always having to prune it back. And I just prune it back, put the cuttings in water, and within a month or so you'll get a load of roots, and then I pot them up into soil. Very easy, and as I say, one of the few cacti you can actually just put straight in water when you're taking cuttings. Wouldn't normally recommend that for the majority of cacti because they will rot. And that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything there. I've covered the light, the watering, the soil, the temperature, the flowers and the propagation. And what I haven't covered is where you can purchase these plants from. They are very hard to find, and I don't really know of any garden centres that you can just walk in and buy these cacti because they're more speciality cacti. But you can get them online. We got ours from, I think it was Cactine Haag, online, and also Leafy Cacti and a couple of other online garden nurseries. There's a lot of new laws coming now because there's this Xylella, I think it's called, bacteria that's affecting Europe, and I think because of that there might be new laws on purchasing plants online. But as it happens now, I think you can still purchase as normal. So if you love these unusual leafy cacti, then online is your best bet to get any of these. And that's pretty much it, guys. And as I say, do watch the video I've made on my 4 different types of Pereskia cacti, where I talk a little bit about the 4 different ones as well. And then stay tuned for tomorrow's video on the second Leafy Cacti series, part 2, on all about Pereskiopsis, which is different to Pereskia because Pereskiopsis is part of the Puntioidaceae family. But I'm going to explain that in that video, so stay tuned for that. And then part 3 is going to be about the Quibentia leafy cacti. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti and succulents in general, then please do check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done already, and click that notification bell. And again, thank you all so much for your support, guys. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye, 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 from all my 4 Pereskia cacti.